Well, there's no central dispatch for ambulances in Erie County. Some towns do it on their own, but the city of Buffalo relies on Erie County.
So the question is, does it make sense to centralize this critical function? News 4's Luke Moretti takes a look at what it would take to make that happen. Luke?
Yeah, you know, Erie County has a very complicated system of answering emergency medical calls. There are 25 public safety answering points, all dispatch centers, and some are asking, is there a better way?
If Erie County decided it wanted to go to a single dispatch, we would absolutely participate in that.
Thomas Maxian has seen central dispatch work elsewhere around the country and says rural Metro would be first in line to support such a changeover.
We want to absolutely be a good partner with the county and the city, and anything that makes us and every other ambulance company more efficient is good for the community.
Erie County handles ambulance dispatch for the city of Buffalo. Rural Metro, which has a 5-year contract with the city, has been working to improve response times for the most serious calls. Maxian says the company invested in Fleet Eyes software, which provides a real-time look at where ambulances are located. He's also proposing a direct data link from the county's ambulance dispatch to rural Metro, which he says will help move information faster.
It electronically comes over to our CAD system, our computer-aided dispatch system, pops up on the screen, then our dispatcher can automatically send that call out to an ambulance. We could probably take 30 seconds to a minute off a lot of these calls, and we'd cut out the confusion as well.
Erie County Emergency Services Commissioner Daniel Nevereth is all for new technology, but thinks multiple forms of backup communications, including radios, are needed.
So if I'm pushing you data, I send you a text message. There needs to be multiple ways of me understanding or verifying that you received that message in the first place.
As for countywide ambulance dispatch, Nevereth admits that it could be a tough sell for some communities already doing it.
When it comes to something as sensitive as the dispatches, it's become an ingrained culture within a lot of the communities. And I think that there's a fear. Some people will use fear almost as a weapon. So each community really needs to take a look now and say, if we're sustaining this particular system, how can we make it better within our own community?
What would suburban towns gain from a central dispatch scenario? Rural Metro's Thomas Maxian says, for one, they would have access to more resources.
You get a true globalization, and when you have globalization, you can use those resources more effectively rather than having to call around. One particular community needs a resource right now, it's a matter of phone calls.
Every community has to decide for themselves, is this current system operating the way that we want it to? And if so, that's great. Is there a way of doing it better? And who do we approach to be able to do that?
Yeah, Nevereth says lots of moving parts involving a change over to a countywide dispatch system. And since it involves multiple agencies, he says certificates of need and agreements have to be in order. And most of all, he says there needs to be a willingness to participate. Luke Moretti, News 4.